All right, the overhead squat. Who likes the overhead squat? Not a lot of people, okay? So the overhead squat is a pretty tough movement to do. It's kind of tough on people who have limited mobility. And who's that? Mostly everybody, okay? So in order to do the overhead squat properly, we've got to be able to get into the proper positions. If you get into the proper positions, we're not going to have an issue with this movement, okay? So what's the proper position? The proper position for the overhead squat is going to be having that bar, the load, back here. If our load is too far forward, then what's going to end up happening is the load is always going to want to fall down to the ground. When you see people miss an overhead squat, you're generally going to see the bar falling forward. 99 times out of 100, the bar is going to fall forward. Okay? So what we've got to do in order to do an overhead squat properly is we have to focus on our scapula, meaning our shoulder blades, right? So we want to, what we call retract and elevate the scapula. All right? So let's talk about what that is. So scapular retraction is basically when the scapula or the shoulder blades come back. So that is retraction. Scapular elevation is basically when we push the shoulder blades up. So retraction and elevation is going to put our bar in the ideal position. All right? So retract, elevate. Retract, elevate. And that is where I need to be for my overhead squat. Right? Retracted and elevated. If we can get that position, we're good. All right? So my bar is set at the same height that it would be on a front squat or a back squat. All right? I'm going to put the bar on my back, not in the front. Do not unrack an overhead squat from the front. That is silly. Okay? So I got my bar. It's going to be on my back after I figure out the right grip. So first thing I'm going to do, get my bar nice and even on my rack. That looks about right. Now check this out. When I go to put my hands on here, okay, my rack is in the way. No big deal. Don't worry about that, okay? Just put your fingers where they need to be, okay? Your index finger. So I've got that measured out. Now all I got to do, put the bar on my back, come out, and then wrap my hands around. So I'm good to go. All right? I'm going to step out far enough away so that if I do miss my overhead squat, I'm not going to throw the bar and have it hit my, my rack there, okay? So I'm out quite a ways. From here, there's a couple different ways I can get the bar over my head. I can either do a push press, a push jerk, or a split jerk. I prefer the split jerk, okay? So I'm going to look straight ahead, dip drive, bars over my head, cover, cover. All right. So now what do I got to do? I got to make sure, pull back, push up, get in position, push up, push up, push up, push up, right? When I get to that bottom, I could get a little loose, a little wonky. Make sure you don't stand up before you're ready, okay? Again, pushing up on a bar, all the way down, all the way up. When I'm done, receive it or drop it to the ground, pull the hands in, and rack. Okay? That is the overhead squat.